that's just surrounds all of us. We're all affected by it, but kids in particular are vulnerable. So I want to welcome to the stream for the first time Josh Golan. He's
Well
the
done.
executive director of Fair Play for Kids. Again, an organization that is trying to pass the minimum protections, I'd say, for children online. To protect children from just this rapacious commercialization and exploitation by big tech. So thank you for joining me, and I'm sure we'll be having a very uplifting conversation today. Yeah, but
It's
you have a sense of humor, so I can tell it helps get through the day.
it does, but also, I think this is a really interesting issue and a really interesting time to do the work that I do. I mean, I think obviously what's happening to kids gets worse every single day, and with AI, it's just being turbocharged. This would have the move for corporations to just take over every aspect of childhood and commercialize and monetize every aspect. But on the other hand, there's a pretty big resistance that has developed in the last few years, and people are so uh, uh, angry. Parents are angry about what's happening. Kids themselves don't like being on social media all day, and so it's not hopeless.
Yeah.
I couldn't do this if it was hopeless. So
No, I mean, I guess because you've been doing it for quite a while, and I mean, maybe we can get into that, but maybe we should just start with the beginning. Like, so what is fair play, and what are you trying to get done?
yeah, so Fair Play was founded about 25 years ago by a psychologist, and at the time we had a different name. We were called the Campaign for Commercial Free Childhood, and was really focused to try and end direct marketing to children. And so Susan formed the organization because as a psychologist, she was seeing how immersion in commercial culture was affecting children's behaviors, their values, their sense of self. And so in those early years, we did a lot of work around things like junk food marketing to kids, which drove a epidemic of childhood obesity that we don't really talk about anymore, but is still a
Yes.
huge public health problem.
Like you mean like marketing like sugary cereals and just Twix and candy bars and all that. I
And
remember that as a kid because I was I came when I was 9 to America, and I mean one of my earliest memories. It it's not with television, but it's basically an extension of television. It's like the packaging that I saw when I was in Austria. We were in Vienna, and it was just like a shitty little store that I went to just while we were waiting for our immigration papers to be stamped. And it was just a little store, like a corner store, like a convenience store, and there was just like the packaging of the candy bars. I mean, it was almost like a shrine, like like light from heaven shining down on the whole thing. And then I do remember, of course, the commercials, and they've like eaten their way into my head. So yeah, it's very stuck. That memory of it is because I went from not having that at all, because the Soviet Union, all of its problems, was not a commercial, was not focused on selling you things, maybe not like, so there was like an actual absence of, like, a total lack of that. And so the difference, I mean, I remember, I didn't think of it like systemically, obviously, but it was just very obviously something was different here, in America. Yeah.
yeah, and in fact, like there's this whole children's media ecosystem even before we got to social media that was all designed around selling stuff, like whether
Yes.
not just the commercials during the shows, but the fact that all the characters then when you went to the grocery store were on